You have all wondered why rishis and yogis achieve Siddhi and they want to transform their body to synchronize with the whole universe. All the fundamental vibrations of the universe they want to feel in their body. So a transformation is needed. And that's why for in Hinduism, for thousands and thousands of years, we have seen that rishis and yogis or rishi kulas, that means lineage of rishis over several thousands of years, they have adopted practices to do meditation. And meditation be should not be carried out in any place you want. You have to go to a very particular place and you have to sit and work on your pranayama, the breathing control, and then yogic pose, and uh, and and the different kind of movement of the fingers. You have seen that when I'm talking, I continuously change my fingers in a different geometric shapes. So all these different practices of morphogenesis of the body, and yogis had to learn, and those knowledge were transformed, perfected over the ages. And you have seen that yogis always walked, say, hundreds of miles, thousands of kilometers, and they used to find a suitable place where to meditate. So in the 1960s, US military carried out this particular study, and I got access to this research paper in 2010, when my friend Dave Sontag gave me this research article. And and when I was reading it, I was checking that uh, when uh, Vedic yogis used to go to different place, they used to feel in their body the high presence of electromagnetic field. So geomagnetic field is not same at every single place on the surface of the planet Earth. In some places, this is much more than the other places. And if we go there, we can sense it in our body that something is very different here. And in today's time, when we have so much buildings and others, we can't sense it. However, we could do that in the past, when we grew up with nature, and we used to feel little things like blooming of the flowers from the bud, how a little baby of a bird and grows into a full grown bird, how snakes do sexual intercourse, and all these things were integral and fundamental part. I remember that when I was kid, I used to look at the dews on the leaves, big leaves of some plants in our house, and I always used to see sunlight and the whole nature around our house in that dew. And morning, I was so curious that at certain angle I would definitely be able to see the whole nature. So when we grow up with this kind of environment, then we start sensing that these plants can speak, these trees can speak, these birds around you. You can talk in your mind and you can talk to them. So this may appear very abnormal and parapsychic to you, but these are quite normal for the kids and babies who grow up with the nature. And those who are listening to my videos and know that this sensation is a very elementary sensation, and it existed. Nowadays the kids are born, they don't have it, they can't imagine, they can evaluate what I'm talking about. However, some kids can truly correlate, or some men, adult grown men or olds can correlate with this. So a yogi had to learn meditation and breathing technique and the different body poses, because when I do this, you remember that there are the blood vessels, and all these blood vessels, when I'm connecting this blood vessels, a line of paths, actually red corpuscles, red blood cells have hemoglobin, and it contains iron, ferrous. So you can imagine the high magnetic, it has ferromagnetic properties. So you are creating a loop of magnetic loop. Whenever you are creating different magnetic loops, you are with the body, you do different kind of geometries uh, in yogic pose. Actually, you are creating a ring of magnetic fields and a 3D topology, a geometric arrangement to sense different kind of signals that are there, which human sensors cannot do. And this is the origin of yoga. And this kind of practices were there from childhood, when a monk were grown, and they used to master this technique. So they used to sense the environment, and of course there were 12 years of brahmacharya. So after that, you could decide whether you will go to the path of samsara by marrying a lady, produce babies, very evolved, and train them to become a good father or a good mother, or you would like to take the path of others. So for an example, path of a yogi. Some people were born with this power, but those were not, they could achieve. So after you achieve this nature's gravitational geomagnetic field sensing ability, you have to walk and find. So there were yogis who have documented that they used to go at different places and search for a right place where they could meditate for years after years, say 12 years, and they could achieve siddhi over that particular place. So when I saw the research paper, and I found different locations in India where also they worked officially or they did secretly, I have no idea, but they did search this, and you can do that in your mobile phone. You can download an app and you can check where is the electromagnetic field is more and less. Currently, there is a problem. The problem is because of the high Wi-Fi signal and continuous bursts of radio waves. It is very difficult to find out where is the geomagnetic field is much higher. But however, your mobile will not cheat you. It has the electromagnetic field sensors, and it can tell you that in particular places it is more. Why don't you do that next time when you go to a tirtha kshetra, and or near your place, or a far distant place, and switch on the electromagnetic field on the way when you are going to that place, and you will see the large bursts of electromagnetic fields. That's how tirtha kshetras were found, were established. And so the yogis used to sense and walk and walk and walk, find a place. Imagine what Buddha did. Imagine what Mahavira did. So Buddha was a student mm, of a Hindu guru. So Hindu guru taught him how to do meditation. That's why Buddha also meditated for 12 years. All the yogis meditate for 12 years. Of course, there is no doubt that Buddha completely practiced pranayama and yoga and all the Hindu practices that was there at that point of time. Because if you see the documents written by Buddhist monks, you will find that those delicate experiences that Buddha had, like eating nothing and sitting in a pose where Shiva used to sit, and then Shiva prescribed these yogic practices, maybe 11,000 BC, when there was ice age, and we find a lot of signatures of his descriptions and incidents when the rivers are getting born and other things were happening. It's just end of the last ice age. We can see, as safely say, that that at that point of time these were discovered, but Buddha was at least 10,000 years later after Shiva. But he used to have that pose. How could he do that? And also taking certain words, and Sabda Brahma. So you utter a very particular word in a very particular way. You need to do that, and then when you do it, your environment gets changed, and you are able to sense back the reverberation of your sound in your ear by sensing the anahata. We call it anahata in Hinduism. So those unheard sounds, your sounds goes out and then interact and comes back to your ears, and that's how you sense the environment. So you try to become united, and that also Buddha did. Then Mahavira did, Makkal Gosai did, and then many, and even in the latest 100, roughly 150 years back, Ramakrishna Paramahansa did the same. And then there are many yogis. I can't list name of all the yogis, but they did. And that's why even in your house, I went to visit Jagadish Chandra Bose's house, who first measured the rhythms and the vibrations and music of the trees or plants. So we Hindus, when we try to do Vedic science, we always try to measure rhythms or chandas, and we try to feel that rhythms or chandas, because accessing the rhythms and vibrations of Brahma, and seeing the Brahma Yoti, and that is very, very important, because Hinduism is based on two fundamental things. One is Brahma Yoti, that is the fundamental waveform that goes through all the locals. 14 locals are there, and tattva. Tattva is very basic principles. So I will get into different series, and then I will slowly explain to you other things. Getting back to the research paper, so I was very surprised, and I really, really liked the US military's research, which they carried out at different places on the planet Earth, to find out what are those places, and if the humans are born, will they have extraordinary powers, or that transformation is required. Now, getting back, what would be the quality of Siddhi and Samadhi? The best quality for Siddhi and Samadhi, Swami Vivekananda told, and when I studied in Ramakrishna Mission, Malda, and then I think one of our monk told us that I mean, we were doing painting. I was always used to do painting, and then one day the monk came and told me that, do you know what is meditation? I said, okay, because we had a meditation class, and we do all kind of nonsense things in the class. So we put your hands like this, and then we think about something good, and we go out our body, and then we see from outside how am I look like, and what am I doing, what this man do. Remember, in Hinduism you never say I. So Hinduism has been totally deformed and disgraced by the Western philosophers, who are not qualified to understand. They thought I Atman means a subject. I mean, it's a subject for us, but it's an object for them. That's why they created soul, ghost, and all this kind of nonsense in Hinduism. And unfortunately, 99% of the Hindus today, they learn Hinduism, but with the Western eye, or the Christian or Abrahamic eye, where things are very, very different. In many videos to come, I will explain to that. So meditation is not something that you just concentrate. Free your mind is absolutely nonsense, garbage explanation. First is a human can concentrate his mind to a point for, say, 4 seconds. Let me do that, and I will show you. You can see on my face how it looks like. So I did a little meditation. So it's a 4 seconds. So 4 second is kind of normal. You have to increase by yogic practices after 12 seconds, then one meditation. Then after one meditation, you are able to understand and sense the environment, little features. And when you can do 12 meditation at a time, then you complete Siddhi, or success, liberation, moksha. So what happens is that you become very, very slow, because you understand you have to transform, you have to make a journey through 14 lokas. The smallest lokas are very, 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 very fast, and the topmost loka is very, very, very slow. It's almost a static. You just sense it. But for millions and billions of years, there is no change in that. Absolutely static. So you have to make journey. So even if you cannot do billions of years, at least you can practice in your mind very fast rhythms, and then sense those rhythms, and then very, very slow rhythms, whatever is available around your environment, or my environment, or a planet or extraplanetary signals, whatever I'm getting. So uh, 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 transforming your body by samadhi, and 144 seconds at a stretch you have to keep. And if you do that, then you see siddhi. And remember, thousands of monks died in India when they reached samadhi. 144 seconds is more than 2 minutes. Imagine you completely lock your body and lost totally in the universe. It's not always you will come back. So die. So when people reach the samadhi states, there are practices where the disciples take a big stick and then beat the monk to bring him back, else he will die. And then there are stories you have all heard, and then these stories are there. I mean, as a scientist, it's my responsibility to look into everything, and I experienced with my journey in life, and I'm telling this to you, said that we say avatara, or avatar is a very profound concept in Hinduism. In other religions, and the Abrahamic religions especially, you have one avatar. But in Hinduism, we have avatars and avatars and avatars. However, we classify them into three categories. Shiva avatar, Vishnu avatar, and then we have different classifications of rebirth of the great monks and sages. But always remember this: a avatara can get muhur muha samadhi. What is that? That is, in your free will, you go there, and then you are able to come back. So, so see this beautiful story. Uh, Ramakrishna, in the initial days, people had to beat him to bring him back. But after that, he could go for 144 seconds, and he could come back. So you have to cross this temporal barrier, that is 12 meditations, and only then you could experience unification with the universe, and see the Brahman, sense the Brahman, and using the tattva, that is principles, and then you could see Brahma Jyoti, and you could sense Brahman, the fundamental eternal vibration that is transversing every part of the universe. So ultimate objective was finding a place where you can take yourself from 12 seconds of meditation to 144 seconds of at a straight meditation, where you are totally lost from this universe, and you can make a journey to all the 14 lokas. And do you know who is the king of 14 lokas? You all know. In the Varanasi, his kingdom was established, Lord Shiva. Thank you very much. And with that, I end today's video, and wait for something more and exciting in the coming days. Thank you.